Quick take. The Thunder took game 1 personally and came out in game 2 on fire. They scored a playoff record 87 points in the first half and tied up the series with a dominating win over the Nuggets, 149-106. Stephen A., what was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Well, clearly the Denver Nuggets did not show up. I mean, what an atrocity to give up damn near 90 points in the first half. I mean, they clearly had no interest in playing game 2. They came and got what they wanted in game 1, and they took game 2 off because there's no team in history that has been that atrocious defensively in a half that I can recall. Having said that, this is a team as great as Jokic is, as great as Jamal Murray can be in the postseason. I cannot stop giving love to Russell Westbrook because I know that brother with that fire in his belly is going to have these brothers ready to fight. They will not resemble this team in game 3. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just so special. He's so smooth. He's something to behold, no doubt. And he'll be rightfully crowned MVP in the next couple of weeks or so. He is special. But this is going to be, that last night was not indicative of how this series will go. The games will be tighter, far more competitive than what we saw last night.
What I saw is a different level of physicality. I saw Oklahoma City come out and get on Denver ass like cheap toilet paper. That's what I saw. I saw the physicality from Isaiah Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren on Jokic. I saw the other Jalen Williams coming in off the bench, mixing it up down there in the trenches, causing havoc. I saw active hands, activity, deflections, getting out in transition. That is going to travel. They know the worst thing that happened for the Denver Nuggets was how they won game 1. That left a sour taste in OKC mouth. That defense, that tenacity, that leadership by Shai is going to carry over into Denver.
The 2 games in Denver are enormous, obviously. Last year, the Thunder were the higher seed. They went to Dallas, and Luka, the best, ended up being the best player in the series, ended up getting control.
I think it's important to take the emotion out of it. Like winning by 100 or winning by 2 is still 1-1, and I think that's very important. Like I said, especially in a series, like every game's gonna look different. Teams are gonna make adjustments. It's gonna be a different crowd, a different feel. You're gonna start hot, you're gonna start cold. Like everything's gonna look different, and it's important to turn the page, I think. So regardless, it's 1-1.
But we got punked, and we didn't play well enough, and they came out with the right intensity, and we didn't. I thought we let some open shots early in the game of just how we played defensively. We've got to be better. We know that. That being said, it's nice to know that you got a win underneath your belt, but that's not what this is right now in the present. And I would expect a much better effort from our guys on Friday night in Denver.
All right, we got Legs back again, and full disclosure, I wasn't even sure we were bringing you back because this game was such a blowout. I mean, what can you say about a game like this? But we do want your thoughts. How does a game like this perhaps inform the rest of the series, Legs?
Well, look, my pen was thankful because I took 22 pages of notes on the other game, so my hand was hurting. I didn't need any for this because what you saw was an Oklahoma City response like you would expect. And I was making a joke. It's almost like Oklahoma City made this response for all of these home teams that are losing games. They're like, you know what, enough's enough. This is what it looks like when a higher seeded team plays to their ceiling. Oklahoma City's been the best team in the NBA this year, and this is what they look like most nights. Incredible pace offensively, all triggered by their defense, their activity. The fast break points, 15-0 at halftime. Points off turnovers, 15 at halftime. The biggest thing they had to clean up, they had to be able to hold their own on the glass. They did that. Dominant win. Oklahoma City sends a message they were not happy with their game 1 performance.
Yeah, it's just one win, but boy, was it convincing. Game 3.
Top game of the night. Well, that definitely went down in Boston. Knicks left the Celtics and their fans stunned for the second straight game. Tatum, Brunson, ready to go. This game was so good we jumped to the third quarter. Knicks are down 9. OG Anunoby thought he had a poster on Derek White, but he's called for the offensive foul. The Knicks did not challenge the call. And how would the Celtics respond to that great defensive play by White? How about Tatum backing down Mikal Bridges there? And then Jaylen Brown off the screen knocks down a 3. The Celtics were up 14. It's a 17-point game here when Kristaps Porzingis passed out to Tatum, back to Porzingis for the 3. The Celtics are up 20. They are 40-2 this season by leading at 20 points at any point in the game. Problem is, one of those losses came in game 1 of this series. 7 minutes to go in the fourth. Knicks within 12. Bridges makes it a 10-point game. And then here, Brunson finds Bridges coming through like the rent is due. All 14 of his points came in the fourth quarter. The Knicks have cut it to just 7. Off the turnover, White would end up getting it to Tatum. Wide open in the corner. That's a brick. And that would be indicative of a little stretch here. They missed 13 straight shots at one point late in the fourth quarter. Tied for their longest streak in the fourth quarter of a playoff game since 1998. And the Knicks took full advantage. Josh Hart gets the floater. It's a 5-point game. It's down to 4 with less than 3 minutes to go. Brunson to Hart. Misses the layup, but Big Cat is there. Put back and 1. He had 21 points, 17 rebounds. They cut the lead to 1 after the free throw. And then Brunson gave the Knicks their first lead of the game at 87-86. We got 1 minute to go. Brown can't get that to go. Derek White can't get the tip. Here come the Knicks the other way. Brunson, contested layup, doesn't matter. It's a 3-point New York lead. But the Celtics have time. They're down 1, 24 seconds to go. Tatum from one end to the next with the finish. Boston back up 1. They need a stop at the other end. Can they get it? Well, not really. Brunson gets fouled by Drew Holiday. He made the first free throw. Here's the second one. Good. Now, the Celtics decided not to use a timeout. They give it to Tatum. Pretty much run the same set you just saw he had the dunk on, but the Knicks played it differently defensively. So now Tatum is scrambling, trying to get a shot off, fades to the corner, trying to pass it to Jaylen Brown, but Mikal Bridges is there. What a defensive play by Bridges to seal the win for the Knicks. And if that felt familiar, well, it's not the first time that Bridges made a game-saving defensive play in this series. Let's go back to game 1. The Knicks were up 3 seconds to go in OT. He strips the ball from Jaylen Brown. That's how they win game 1. And you come back to game 2, watch the headiness of Bridges to come off the blind side here to get the steal again. 91-90, Knicks are up 2-0, 5 straight road playoff win streak. That's the most in franchise history.
Going home, realizing the opportunity we have, we just got to make sure we're still locked in. Nowhere close to being done.
We need to start the game a lot better. Now they're going to go on runs. They're a great team, and they can make plays for each other like no other. But we got to just find a way to limit their runs.
We know when it gets close in the end of a game, it's a one-possession game. We're very comfortable. We got Captain Clutch.
2 games, we up 20 points. Somehow end up not with wins. It's inexcusable. I feel like we played a little bit fast and sped up a little antsy. Just a rough night.
So the Knicks are the first team in the last 25 years to overcome 20-point deficits in back-to-back playoff games. New York and Indiana have now started the Eastern Conference semis 2-0 on the road. It's the first time multiple teams have done that since the first round started way back in 1971. Are we bringing NBA analyst Tim Legler to the program, trying to make some sense? Second straight game. It's ugly, and it gets uglier for Boston. I need you to tell me, I saw what happened, Tim, but explain to me why it happened, how they blow another 20-point lead.
Well, Mike, I actually was encouraged at the start of the game. They were more intent on getting into the paint, particularly Jaylen Brown. So I think, all of the talk around the shots that they took 2 nights ago and taking 63s and missing 45 of them, and that's all everybody was talking about for 48 hours. I do think it affected their approach to the start of the game, and they had success. They built the lead. They're up 16. And what has transpired now 2 games in a row, which is really hard to understand, is a champion being this uncomfortable in the fourth quarter at home when leads are starting to be cut into, because that's exactly what happened. They look tight, Mike. The open looks they got, there's one of them there you see by Jason Tatum. They got 3 wide open ones in the fourth quarter they didn't make. But it's these other shots, the in-between mid-range touch shots, 15-footer here, a 10-footer there, a couple of opportunities at the rim for other guys. Nobody looked comfortable. Nobody looked sure. And you contrast it with how certain the Knicks look in those situations as they start to cut into that lead. I think they can see it in the eyes of Boston. They're unsure what exactly they want to accomplish offensively. That gives the Knicks more confidence because they know exactly what they're going to do on the other end and who's going to have the ball and how they're going to play off of Jalen Brunson. So it's just been fascinating to me to watch a team that is a champion, a current champion, look this way in the fourth quarter of consecutive games with big leads when their offense completely abandoned them.
All right, Tim, so if Boston is going to come back and win this series, they will have to win 4 of the next 5 games. And obviously 2 of those start on the road coming up this weekend. Based on what you've seen, what's the likelihood they can actually do it?
I think it would be a little bit premature to say that this is over because it's the Celtics and they've been so good on the road with this core group over the course of their playoff careers together. So I don't think you can say automatically dismiss it. But look, Mike, they put themselves behind an 8 ball now. And you know historically what happens to teams that drop the first 2 at home as a higher seed. You know, those teams don't win these series, and they're in deep, deep trouble. I think the Knicks clearly have the upper hand. I'm not going to be shocked one bit if the Knicks win this series. I think they should expect to win this series now with what they just pulled off. The question is going to be, what do the Celtics have for a response when they go on the road? Because I think, Mike, what I saw in this game, I saw the atmosphere and the environment affect them in the fourth quarter. And you're not going to feel the same environment on the road because you feel the anxiety of your home fans when something like that happens and you melt down like that. Road is a different environment. This might bring out the best in them. Getting on the road, us against the world mentality.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.